Good morning, students. Welcome back to Sonika's class. In this is last video of the chapter Outcomes of Democracy. The last outcome is social outcome which we expect from democracy is dignity and freedom of citizens. You can get the same in the form of question like this. Examine with the help of 3 examples how dignity and freedom of citizens are best guaranteed in democracy. So here we see that each and every society is a very every country we say, or even Indian society, it is very diverse in different terms such as religion, language, culture, or caste. But it is only in democracy that equal treatment is given to all the individuals. There should be no such discrimination on any basis, and democracy accommodates all the social diversity by guaranteeing dignity and freedom to all the citizens. Now, all the previous outcomes which we discussed in from democracy, like political outcomes and economic outcomes, everywhere there was some sort of dilemma, right? That in the initial political outcomes, we saw that democracy is good in principle but not so good in practice. Then economic outcomes also, we saw that performance of democracy is not much good, right? And even the economic inequalities in reducing poverty, leaders are not keen on addressing the question of poverty. But when it comes to social outcomes, and especially the dignity and freedom of citizens, then democracy is best suited for this outcome, because democracy is based on the equality of the citizens. Okay, so when citizens are treated equally without any discrimination, without any such on any such basis, then they feel dignified in the society. You can give 3 examples here. First, in case of women, because India is such a society, for especially a country like India, which was caste, on basis of caste, there were so many discriminations. Okay, for so long, women in India, they had to face subjugation. They were treated like subjects of the males. But now, being in the democratic country now, citizens, women in India, their rights are also now, they have got legal force as well as the moral force. They get equal rights because democracy has ensured these all rights to women. But if we compare now in other countries where there is dictatorship, yeah, there is monarchy, if women don't get the equal rights, if they're treated badly in the society, they're humiliated, they are being tortured, then they will have nowhere to go, because the law, the constitution, yeah, the type of government doesn't support the equal rights of women, right? So second, you can take the case of caste. In case of weaker sections of society like SC, ST, OBCs, special provisions have been made to uplift them, right? And especially it was very necessary for a country like India, because again, our country has faced those caste based obligations for centuries, during the British rule, even before the British rule in ancient India. So India followed that caste system very strictly, that 4 varna system, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and then caste hierarchies. Then even there were few communities, those who were considered as outcasts. You must have read in the previous classes, outcasts were the people like those who were called as untouchables. Then Mahatma Gandhi gave them the name of Harijans. Okay, so for such society, it was very difficult that the dignity of how to maintain the dignity and freedom of all the citizens. Then the makers of constitution, they came up with this thought process of reserving seats for them, to uplift them, to make them also equal to the other sections of society, so that they also, because economic marginalization and social marginalization, they are both linked with each other. If any society is economically marginalized, then socially also their social status also gets affected. So to make them economically more equal to the other sections of society, this system of reservation was introduced. Okay, so special provisions for those sections of society. This is the second example which you can quote there. Then in case of the conflicts among various groups, they are minimized by given because everyone is given equal representation to their for example, if let's say that The STs, they make 47% of the total of the total population. Then the 47% of the seats would be reserved for them. Okay, if the SCs, they make 27% of the total population, then the 27% of seats would be reserved for them. So equal representation they get. Okay, any community like these communities which we call as weaker sections of society, they also get representation in the government. Okay, so it is also ensured that rule of majority is not the rule of majority community. For example, if Hindus are more in number, then it is the government who the party which forms the government, it is not the party of Hindus. Okay, it is not the rule of majority community, but it is the rule of majority, the majority which is formed by different people coming together. Fine. So these examples you can give, and yes, another fourth example also you can quote here, that democracy makes transforms people from subjects to citizens. Okay, this is also given in your textbooks, from subjects to citizens. Okay, subjects like in monarchy or in dictatorship, the people living in the country, they are called as subjects. They don't have any on rights and all. They cannot claim their rights. They don't, because the laws don't have the legal force. But in democracies, we are citizens. Okay, we choose our representatives. We make them rulers. We actually indirectly rule ourselves. Okay, so democracy maintains that transparency. We have right to know. Even you can include that RTI here. Okay, that can also be included in the answer here. Under RTI, right to information, citizens can examine the process of decision making, how the particular decisions were taken. Okay, so that also helps in ensuring this outcome, dignity and freedom of the citizens. Now, the concluding portion of the chapter is about that most of the individuals today believe that their vote makes a difference to the way government is run and their own self-interest. Yes, this also can be included in the previous topic only, dignity and freedom of citizens. Whether the rich or poor, Hindu or Muslim or Sikh, any community or any you can say caste, religion or linguistic community, they all have some say in government because they have their own representative sitting in the government. So they believe that their vote makes a difference. Okay, in class 9 you have studied about electoral politics. There you saw that mostly poor people or underprivileged people in India, they vote. Why they vote? Because they have faith in the electoral process in India. And then when we conclude it, then we say that democratic examination never gets over. Actually, it should be written, exam for democracy never gets over. Like you people are always like, one exam gets over, then we have to start preparing for another examination, right? So you people are not alone in this. You have, your classmate as democracy. So for democracy also, the exams are never over. Once the citizens would expect something from democracy, okay, they would demand something. Once that democracy would meet those demands, then again there would be new demands. So new test. So as it passes one test, it produces another test. As people get some benefits from democracy, they ask for more and more and want to make democracy even better. So what positive outcome we get like this, like even the complaints of people, they are positive. You can we have to take those even mistakes like positive outcome. Yeah, we must think that it is actually success of democracy, because if people are complaining, then what does it mean? That people are aware of their rights. They know that actually how government should function. So if democracy has produced such citizens, then it is successful, right? So the fact that people are complaining is itself a testimony to the success of democracy. Class, you also get a question in the same language only, or you also get like the fact yes, the same only, the fact that democracy that complaining itself is testimony to the success of democracy, justify the statement. Or actually I have taken the question answers as well, you can get from there. Wait, it must be somewhere here only. Yes, this question I was talking about. Wait, it is not that. Yes, sorry, this one. A public dissatisfaction of democracy shows the success of democracy. Justify the statement. Okay, if people show dissatisfaction with democracy, then it is actually the indication that democratic project is successful. How will you justify this statement? You will write the same points there, that it shows that people have developed awareness and ability to expect, because who can expect, who knows that actually how the government should function, right? People look critically at the leaders, power holders. They come up with some expression and some complaints, and they also value their democratic rights, because if citizens don't play, they are not active, it means they don't have faith in democracy, they don't have faith in the form of government. Okay, so you can get such question. Then also on the same topic which we just discussed, dignity and freedom of citizens, and also the previous which was accommodation of social differences. So on that, such question can be asked, on the basis of which values will it be fair expectation that democracy should produce a harmonious social life. So you can write these points, that a democratic country looks into the needs and aspirations of every society. It is able to handle the social conflicts. This is the ability of democracy. It is able to handle the social differences, because everyone is given equal treatment. And the government of Belgium, you can give that example, that how, because of policy of accommodation, how that country was able to manage the accommodate the differences, and how it was successful also. And a country like Sri Lanka, where that diversity of the country could not be accommodated well, and government took the majoritarian steps, then what it resulted into. So accommodating the demands of majority community reduces the possibility of problems becoming violent, as they became in Sri Lanka. And also the rule of majority is not the rule of majority community. So such questions can be asked. And yes, the recent topic which we discussed, so question related to that. Democracy is very important for promoting dignity and freedom of citizens. Support this statement with arguments. The same sentence was there in the previous slide also, that democracies throughout the world, they have recognized that fact, people should be treated with due respect, and this passion for respect is the basis of democracy. Democracies, they recognize all the individuals equal, and this equality is a big thing for the societies which have been built for a long on the basis of subordination and domination. Same like for a country like India, okay, for the citizens to be treated equally, it is very big thing, because we were treated, we were humiliated, we were dominated by British, okay, and upper caste people, like during when the caste system was very prevalent in the country. There was this policy of subordination, like someone is superior and others are inferior, they dominated the society. So for our country, it is very big thing that all the citizens are being treated equally. For most of the societies across the world, they are dominated by they are male dominated societies, but in democracies equal treatment is given to women also, and also has got force of law. Then caste based inequalities and atrocities are also not acceptable in the democracy. So keeping in mind, if we have all these features, then it makes sure that the dignity and freedom of the individuals is respected. So I think we have discussed all the possible questions from the topics which we discussed in this video. So if you have any doubts related to the question answer or in any of the topic in this chapter, because this was last video from this chapter of outcomes of democracy, next chapter which will start would be political parties either or nationalism in India, because we are now focusing upon term 2 chapters. Okay, so let me know your doubts if you have any. See you soon in the next video. Bye.